Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's bring the fellas in here. Let's bring the fellas in here. We got an early here podcast today. Look at the boys, nice and early. 2 minutes early to the podcast here, ladies and gentlemen. Clap it on up.
I gotta say right now, this may be the most prompt entry and go we've had in a long time. No technical issues, no timing miscommunications. Very good. First and foremost, Bob, we'd be remiss. Cat's out of the bag. Big congratulations to Joey D.
Yeah, I was going to go right. No. I mean, we were going to go right into it. We got ourselves an engaged Joey D. Let's go ahead and give a nice warm. Did that Nobu? No surprises there. Did it have Nobu place that Joey D?
No, I did at the beach. I did at the beach. The beach is Nicole and I take the dog there. That's like our spot. So it was sentimental. And then the Nobu was just a nice cherry on the top.
He happened to run into Adam Sandler in the
I did.
bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw him in the men's restroom. He walked in and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, nice to see you." And I'm looking at myself like, I was like, "Hey, nice to see you too." And I'm like, that is Adam Sandler.
He pulled the reverse Ken Rosenthal on Joe, Bob.
I gotta tell you, it's one of the best lines I've ever heard. I told Bob, as someone in the public eye saying "nice to see you," it makes a person, whether you know them, because he definitely knew no idea who the fuck I was, but it makes you feel acknowledged and it makes you feel appreciated. So right out of the gate, he said, "Oh, it's good to see you too." And then it's a
good omen for the marriage. Has to be a good omen.
I'm telling you right now, I should have asked for a photo or told him about Bob Does Sports and pitched him a Happy Gilmore Bob Does Sports episode.
Well,
how good would that have been, Bob?
The bathroom wouldn't have been the place for that, but I do think those are one of those guys. There's certain guys where you just take the picture, like where you just have to ask. I think you could have. I think that's one of those where you really, really want to ask. He's known as one of those all-time good guys. It's like Keanu Reeves, Adam Sandler.
I feel like I might have had a chance if I would have been like, "Hey, you know what? We have a golf channel, this and that. We'd love to have you on." He might at least be like, "Oh, what's the channel called?" Like he might be. Sometimes you got to throw up a Hail Mary. At least you get. I
think the venue that's a tough venue. The being in the men's room kind of makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah. I will say the restrooms in Nobu. It's like you're in a Japanese palace. I mean, it's huge. There's bamboo everywhere. It's very serene.
Like me and Joe were playing Riviera Country Club one time with a guy who was a member there. And we drove by Adam Sandler's house on Riviera, and Joe looks up at it, and Joe goes, "Bob, I'd really like to connect with him sometime."
Yeah,
I did.
Yo, so
that was kind of like when I said I really like what I'm seeing out of Pebble Beach.
Yeah. So we got ourselves an engaged Joey D. Now, here's the thing, Mikey. Joe keeps saying that, and he said it to you too, that he's going to do something really quick and easy and small for the wedding. I don't think so. I think we're looking at a bougie, big time
black tie.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to be dressed nice.
And I think that's the way that you should do it, Joe. I think this should be a big, big thing with a big altar.
Well, now I got to start reaching out to see if I can get some things sponsored for the wedding. Maybe Constellation Brands would be the first I'd hit up. If I could get the booze taken care of for the wedding,
Fireball, I'm sure will stock your wedding.
I'm telling you right now, I almost want to put a story up on just to see like what kind of. I would take napkins. I would take China. I would take anything.
Joe, please don't. I'm asking you not. Please.
Why?
Just don't do it. It's
a way that I can contribute to the wedding because I'm not going to be doing much of the planning, Bob. And I also think I want to do it at a golf course. I think a golf course would be a nice venue to do it at.
I think that's fun. Mikey likes what he's seeing out of Pebble Beach.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Oh, yeah, Pebble Beach. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in Vancouver next year.
It is going to be in Canada. It's going to be in Canada. Okay.
I was going to have Mikey do a multiple choice on where it would be.
Holly predicted Vancouver, Canada.
It's the right place.
It makes sense because both of our families are from there, so it's easy. But that being said, like it'll be cool for someone like Mikey to come to Canada for the first time and experience the wonders that is Vancouver.
I've been to Montreal. I've been to
Montreal's a great city.
Montreal, by the way, is known to have great bagels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a bagel. Their pastry, their bakery, baked goods are very good.
Different style of bagel though, but they happen to be known for the bagels.
Smaller, a lot smaller.
They're
Joe,
the Canadian
you're
version
gonna
of
do the
France.
sponsor thing? Are you going to get all the sponsors for the way? I could see him doing this.
Well, no, not all, but I think big ones. Like if I could get like a golf course venue to give me a discount, or if I could get like the booze is a big one, man. If I could get Constellation Brands, which by the way, they're already basically in cahoots.
Imagine you go to his you go to his wedding, and instead of like the past champagne, they just have past fireball shots as soon as you walk in. You're gonna know right away that you know right away what happened there. So
maybe I get in touch with a catering company that's a fan of the Brilliantly Dumb show. I mean, the possibilities are really endless, Bob.
I mean, watch. We're gonna if this guy rolls out 10 sponsors to his wedding, and then we're waiting for this one for the Brilliantly Dumb.
Well, no, Bob. It starts with the wedding. You know who I should hit up? I should hit up Cousin's Maine Lobster to get some lobster spread for the venue. That would be really nice.
We've given Cousin's Maine Lobster every single chance to come sponsor. We really have. I mean, if they want to do
Oh, Bob, you banged us by turning down the main trip.
I didn't bang. I didn't bang.
If we had taken them up on the main trip, we would be locked
sponsored.
In. We would be locked in if we took the main trip.
You
don't think so?
Oh,
I think it would have helped. I think it would have helped. But we didn't need to go to Maine to go. Let's call a spade a spade. It was already the offer was thrown out there.
The olive branch was extended. We didn't take it.
I wasn't going to Maine. I stand by it.
Why? What's wrong with Maine?
You've
been to Cincinnati.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't have helped, because I'd be crazy. It would have helped, but what, to get 5 hours?
I would have loved to see little Dom eat succulent lobster for the rest of his life at no charge. Would have been very nice.
I don't think it would have been a lifetime lobster. I'm telling you, if it was a lifetime lobster deal, I would have walked to me.
Yeah, and then so you walk into Joe's wedding. I can picture it now. It is the past chilled fireball shots, and then you look to the left, and it's just a gigantic live lobster tank where they ask you to pick out your lobster for the evening, and it's got the big cousins.
That sounds phenomenal. Does that not sound phenomenal? Would you not be happy?
Listen, I'll be happy with anything.
They're going to have photographers and cameras rolling. I guarantee you I get more footage than any of those photographers walking.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I am going to have a camera.
Bob, some of your best content to this day was at your sister's wedding when you were going off on the dance floor and going nuts. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was on
amazing,
one,
dude. He was on fire.
When it comes time to get on the dance floor, I get on there.
That's good.
That's good.
Bob is a great wedding guy.
Well, women love that. Even my wife to this day, women love the guy who goes to the dance. Now, there's a big difference. Like, you don't want to be the guy who's like over the top, like thinks you're a professional dancer on the dance floor. But they love like somebody who's willing to try and who's willing to go out there and just give it all they got, leave it on the field type of deal. They love.
You know, one of the greatest feelings in the world, and I've never felt it, is when you're on like a wedding or some kind of big event and there's a big circle that forms. Oh, yeah. And you get to go in the middle of the circle and break down a couple moves and everybody's impressed. I don't have that kind of talent, but I would imagine that's got to be one of the best feelings when you break down some kind of juke or jive in the middle of that formation and people start going nuts. Bob, you could be that guy.
What they did at my cousin's wedding was they did it at West Virginia. Apparently that was the thing they did in college, where they spin a bottle. Everybody goes in the circle and they spin a bottle, and whoever the bottle lands on, you got no choice, but you got to get up in there and start.
Oh,
that's a fun. I came in. I did the Ray Lewis dance. Like,
did you? Did you? Really?
I went nuts. I kind of blacked out because you got
to. Awesome. I tell you what, I would 100%.
What would you do, Mikey?
I don't know. If I tried to do the Ray Lewis at my age now, I think I
would. Well, no, not Ray Lewis, but what would be the go-to move?
I think I would give it. I would probably go. What was I had a move back in the day at DJs. I forget what the move was. It was like the running man in place. I would just start sprinting in place.
Oh, that's good.
Really good. It was good. Now people will tell you it wasn't good, but it was good.
Mike, you look like you do a good fist bump in your day too. A little one of these. The Jersey Shore special.
You don't think DJ's Mikey D?
Remember when Mikey was like jacked beyond belief?
Yeah, Let me tell you,
The old
something.
days.
Guy was looking for somebody to look at him the wrong.
That's not true, Bob.
guy.
That is not.
Bob, do you have the
true.
photo of him? Do you have the photo of him
Oh,
with
of
the
course
shirt?
I am.
How many times are we gonna pull that fucking photo up? How many times?
It's a great, Mikey. It's a classic. It's a classic.
But people have seen
Dude,
it.
you look like Mr. Olympia.
I'm going to tell you the problem. Here's the problem. When you are my stature, okay? And I'm not saying this with any pomposity. I'm not saying this with any ego whatsoever. When you're my stature, it becomes very difficult. You walk a very fine line because if I say anything to someone smaller than me, which 90% of the population is smaller, I look like a gigantic asshole. Always. I'm always going to be in the wrong. Always. That's not easy. It's not easy to live that way, Bob. It's not.
Till this day, I say it all the time. My biggest regret in life was meeting Mikey V and mentioning how tall he was. It's the biggest, because he's mentioned it, and you hang around Mikey V and you do see people react to him about his size. And I don't blame him that it's nonstop. It's nonstop.
Like I'm a sideshow freak or something. Yeah, that's how I feel. It is.
Well, look, I do. Yeah. What he says then about the somebody who's short too, I get it. He can't say that. I do understand that.
Right.
And if you don't mind, I'd also put up the clip of Mikey V and Shaq next to each other while we're on here. So that's also, by the way, great photo.
That is a good photo. But I like the one where
Really the Dumb Show is brought to you by Ring Doorbell. Ring Doorbell. If you want to feel secure at night, keep the kids tight, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Go buy yourself a Ring Doorbell, the most home security specialists at Ring Doorbell.
The Brill and the Dumb Show is brought to you by Aquafina Water. Why Aquafina? Because Dasani, Poland Spring, and everything else wasn't available. Aquafina Water. Drink fresh today. Joey D, what do you got for us?
Brill and the Dumb Show is brought to you by Oscar Mayer, because we're wieners and we know it.
See, he's pushing for the sampler for the wedding already.
Those little mini wieners.
Oh yeah, I really want Oscar Mayer for my wedding. Yeah.
For the cocktail wieners, Joe. Sure. It's a classic wedding staple. Past hors d'oeuvre, the cocktail wieners.
We should have done for the top 5 this time. The top 5 past hors d'oeuvres at a wedding.
Could do that. We could save that though. That's a good one to keep in the shoe.
That's a real good one.
I think we did do that one. I think we did do that one. I think
Jeez,
you're right.
We've done
bacon wrapped scallops. I remember. Lamb chops. I remember. We definitely did that.
Shrimp cocktail.
Yo, how much time am I getting on the mic at the wedding? That's my concern.
You're gonna have a speech. It's up to you.
Okay. All right. But is it a half and half with Bearsall?
Well, yeah, you'll each get a speech, or you could do it together. Whatever the hell you want to do, that's up to you.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough follow if Bob goes
first.
That's gonna be a tough follow.
Listen, Bearsall is a great public speaker.
He's got personality.
He is. Yeah, I actually think the back-to-back. I think it'll be some of the best speeches we've seen in a long time. I really do.
You know, my cousin's having me he wants to do a roast for the night before he decided to get married in Zihuatanejo, Mexico. I love him dearly. The worst guy to roast, because everything I say to him that following week when he comes home from the honeymoon will be held against me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roast. To where I feel like people always think a roast is a good idea, but then somebody gets up there and then somebody says you know what I mean?
Well, what is offside?
Roast could get very, very crazy. Roast could get very crazy.
Well, what's offside in a roast? Like, how do you know to not take it too far?
Traditionally, nothing. If you watch those old Dean Martin celebrity roasts, nothing was off limits. And it was like everything. Like, they could never, ever have that on TV now. Everybody would get canceled. Everybody. Making fun of people's races, genders, religions. But they were all making fun of each other, and they all loved each other, and they were all laughing about it. See, people back then could laugh themselves. People now, they have a very, very difficult time laughing.
Well, the world's gone too serious.
I'd love to get roasted and watch you guys go up there. And
I think if we roasted Bob and we brought out if we assembled like the dais for Bob's roast would be unbelievable. If we assembled the right dais, it would be incredible.
What's the dais?
The dais is the group of people that are the roasters.
Okay. You imagine Dickie Gas in a roast? Oh, that'd be problem.
No. I mean, who would be the top 5 that you would pick to roast me? I mean, you two, obviously.
Gotta get us two, Perez.
Yep.
You gotta get Jet.
Jet.
ticket.
Jet would be great.
Jet ticket. You got to get Jerry Don's got to be on there.
Yeah.
Jerry Don's got to be on there.
Wow, the Don.
Yeah, the Don would have to be on there.
Now, Joe, maybe, look, I don't want to ruffle any feathers by any means, but maybe if Mikey doesn't get his way to the altar, which is still being talked about, maybe we could get him a couple minutes on the mic. I'm not pushing for the altar, but I would push it. I think Mikey V would be very, very good on the mic, just something to consider.
You know what?
I'm not overstepping any more boundaries.
No, you didn't.
I'm a guest. I'm a guest. I'm on the guest list. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to have a good time.
Absolutely, you're a guest of honor.
You're
a guest of honor.
What are you holding?
What?
It's a pen. He's holding a pen, Bob.
My football pen?
Oh, man, you're something else, man.
What's the problem? I've had this pen forever.
You know what was actually funny is Nicole and I were walking the other day, and she goes, I saw that you turned down Mikey V as a groomsman, but maybe it'd be funny if he would be the officiant. I'm like,
wow.
let's not even.
Why not? If you let me say something right now, Joe. If you don't think that I would take that responsibility very seriously and do a hell of a job, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. If you think I would take that lightly, if you think I would take that lightly and make a joke out of it, you're wrong. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be like, and today we're here.
No.
Joe. In all honesty, he would do a perfect mix of making it comical, but then serious, where you're having a moments where it's not about him. Like he does.
Maybe Mikey could be the MC of the wedding.
Well, now you got demoted. If you just got demoted.
What do you mean demoted?
I don't know. MC is
one of the most important things of the whole wedding.
That's a big job.
That's a massive job.
You got to announce everything. You got to announce the bride's parents. You got to announce the groom's parents.
I think
you got to announce.
I actually would consider that.
Now that's interesting. Now that's
okay. Now we're.
But the problem is like he would have to be there before the wedding and involved and know, like, it would be a lot
this is part of it though. That's part of it.
Maybe
comes with the territory.
What we do is I get like someone else in the family whose knowledge of the family could be shared with you, and you could co-MC as the wedding.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he wants to do a co-job.
Well, I see why he would want me to co-MC, because I don't.
He doesn't know any of the family or
I get
anything.
that. I get that, but I'll tell you, Joe, if you don't think he would do his research, he
I could just make up some really like funny things, though. I could
just make things I know, but I'm saying, like, you got to do speeches you had to introduce different people and the bridal parties and stuff. You need to know. You'd have to have that information privy to you before.
I would have flashcards. I'd have some flashcards. I would make some flashcards.
I will talk to Nicole about that. I will actually think about that. I think that could be the play.
I'll tell you what I think is a.
And by the way, Bob, that's a big.
No, it 100% is. 100% is.
But if you had the option of the altar or the MC, what would you pick?
Me?
Yeah, because MC is pretty big.
MC is actually a lot of work, to be honest.
Yeah, I would pick MC. Listen, the altar thing is a funny joke. I mean, people are people are going insane. They're taking the ball.
There was messages on my engagement.
I've been getting it a ton, man.
It's been not. And listen, I think it's like people don't understand. And I was very blatant with just the no last episode.
That was tough.
And maybe
that was tough.
Yes, okay, that's fine.
That was a dagger.
Roll the clip back. Before you go on, let's just roll that clip back real quick, Joey D.
Mikey, you would be on the altar for me.
Why do we need to even bring that up again?
I think Cutsy may be turning a corner on that, though.
I think too. I think you guys had a big weekend. Let me ask you, Joe, does the altar change now?
No.
Not even any consideration.
What are we talking? We're talking about people that I've known for my entire life.
I'm just saying, like, you couldn't consider like upping the party one person.
What are we doing here, Bob?
I'm not going to beg, Bob. I'm not going to beg.
I think in context, it was maybe a little bit of a. It was not the kindest response, and I do apologize.
That's okay.
But I think people need to understand the context is. How would it feel like to someone who's been a long-term friend of mine?
But
known for many years, and they get the boots.
That's 100. But I said that though. I said there's only two ways it could. There's only one way it could happen. It can't be a subtraction. It could only be an addition. You'd have to increase the party, and if the party's already large, there's no need for that. I have no problem, no issue with moving forward. The plan we have may be a good plan. It may work
Mikey MCs could be the biggest thing to come out since sliced bread.
Could be.
He's got a powerful.
He's got a big presence. Everybody would see him at the front.
If you need people to shut up and sit down, I could do that.
Maybe
There's
too
powerful.
No.
No.
Possibly.
Make it fun.
I think you do very
now,
good job.
Here's the next question, Joe.
Sure.
This is another big question now. Of course, with planning a wedding comes planning a bachelor party. I mean, that's just the next thing that has to be thought of.
Well,
now,
are we thinking
bachelor party? Well, I know that. Are we thinking bachelor party or are we thinking joint bachelorette party? This is a question that has to be asked.
What?
Okay, that's the reaction I was looking for. You don't act like you haven't seen people do the joint bachelorette party.
No.
Okay.
It's a bachelor golf weekend like no other.
Okay.
And and by the way, I think between the organizational skills of Bears on Bob's connections together, it could be one of the greatest bachelor parties that we've had for years.
Bob's connections. No, I agree with it, but the expectation level is going to be very, very
No, it's not. No, it's
it is.
No, I'm saying that if we go to Scottsdale, he could contact True North and we could be playing a good round of golf, like no problem.
Bob, I like True North, but we couldn't get on Augusta for the bachelor party. I know you have some connections now.
I'm saying it would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun.
Very interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the Brilliant Ump Show is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com. Whether you are in a funk in your life, you need somebody to talk to, somebody to help you get back on track, BetterHelp.com is the place to go. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/BDS today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/BDS for 10% off your first month. Go over to betterhelp.com, get everything back on track, and do it the right way. Talk to somebody today. betterhelp.com.
All right, let's head on over into our buy and sell of the week here, ladies and gentlemen. What did you see of the week that you did not like? What did you see of the week that you liked? Let's start. Joey D, buy or sell?
Yeah, this one is not going to sit well with a lot of people. And a lot of people are not going to be happy with this. But you know what? As always, I'm going to say it as I see it. And I'm going to speak on behalf of a ton of other people's perspective who are scared to speak out.
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
Selling.
Mike, do you want to say on three who we each think that he's going to go?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It's an absolute sell.
Man.
It's a sell.
Yeah, it is.
And I said it on the Sportsman and it was like maybe a little bit of shock. She is ruining football. God bless her. I'm happy that she likes this young man. I hope that they're happy. Maybe they'll maybe they'll live till they're old together and have bountiful children and families.
Yeah,
that being said, this is a PR stunt. This is going to benefit both of them. They're going to make a lot of money off of this. And you know what? She don't give a shit about the football, man. She don't care, man. She's there. She's getting the airtime. She's talking to Blake Lively the whole time. I bet you she doesn't even know the rules of football. And that's fine. I don't hold that against her. What I don't like is now all these people all of a sudden take interest to football because she's at a game. And I can't even watch the broadcast without it panning every 5 minutes on Taylor Swift. Show me the game. I don't care who's in the stands. They show her more than if the president of the United States goes to the game. It's outrageous, man. And you know what? It's like now all these people are saying, oh, Kelsey's a somebody now because of Taylor Swift.
No, but that's a trend. What you're talking about is a TikTok trend.
Did you see she had these denim shorts on last night with like diamonds down them?
Yeah.
They retail for $1,200. And the store that sells them sold them for 40% off only for last night because I guess they knew she was going to wear them. They sold out instantly. The whole thing is
Do you know that the
Real
Travis
dirty.
Kelce jersey sales have gone up 400%?
Yes. Yeah.
400%.
He
You're
gained
telling me
almost
this
a
ain't a
million
PR stunt?
followers extra on social media in a week. Yeah.
You know,
It's
all about
outrageous, man.
Sure is.
And you know what? Why do we care? Why do we care who these athletes are dating or engaged to or married? It don't change. We're there to watch them play the sport that we love. I don't care. Now, Bob cares. I know Bob likes that.
Whoa.
I know he does. You're into that whole trend with the TMZ shit and all like the pop culture stuff.
Well, you know what my thing is that it doesn't. It's. I see what you're saying. I do. I see it, but at the same time, like when you really do think about it, it's not affecting game flow. It's like instead of.
I mean, the Chiefs score a touchdown, they pan right to Taylor Swift, even if it isn't Kelsey. She's the offensive coordinator. Outrageous. She might as well just put a headset on her at this point.
I don't think it affects.
She should call the plays.
It doesn't affect the game, I think, as much as people are making it out to be. Yes, they're all talking about it, and you got to sign on to Twitter and see that. But I don't think it affects the game as much as people are saying. I'm not saying that it isn't ridiculous, and both sides clearly know what they're doing. But I just don't think it affects it as much as people are making it out to be, Joey D.
You say that now, Bob, but wait till there's the bad breakup and all of her millions of fans boycott the NFL, say that it's a pompous league, that all this shit that's.
But they were never there.
But that's what they'll do.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what they're going to boycott is the Brilliant Dumb Show. In the meantime, they're fine with the NFL.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is the best thing we need. Maybe it'll skyrocket us up the charts because we'll get noticed.
Could be. I'll tell you
And no PR is bad PR, Bob.
It's like the first time the joke was ever told. You know what I mean? Now,
am I right, Mikey?
Yeah, no, that's the good. Bad press is good press, as they say.
Yeah.
The two biggest beefs of all time would be the Cutsy versus the Swifties would be one, but the ultimate beef that was the best was Cutsy versus Hasbulla.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. Where's that guy gone? By the way, he started attacking his cat, and now nobody talks about him anymore.
You think he disappeared because of you? Partially?
No, I had nothing to do. I just called it as I saw it. I saw this guy. They're gonna find out some dirty shit about this guy, that he wasn't as cute and cuddly and nice as he personified. And you know what? He'd be gone with the wind.
Can I say Cutsy take that?
Cute and cuddly.
I'll tell you a Cutsy take that I think actually aged pretty well, that I hated in the beginning.
The Michael Buffer.
I'll always tip the cap when it's time to tip the cap. He has taken. What's that?
What is it?
It's
Buffer.
Bruce Buffer being a little full of himself. Now I think Buffer is amazing for the UFC. I really do.
I think he's awesome.
But Mikey, if you watch his stuff, some of it. Now I'm a big UFC guy. I think he's amazing for the UFC. Some of his stuff, he does come off a little pompous.
Oh,
he definitely does. Yeah.
He thinks he's more special than a $2 bill.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to follow.
I gotta sell. We've sold them. We bought them back. And I want to sell them again. I am
not YouTube again.
No.
I want to go back, and I want to now.
Good, Bob.
We bought them. We sold them. We bought them. I'm selling them again because on the quad box, they're not giving you the full options, and it's not because it's just a local broadcast. They pick what quad box you could get, when in reality, you should be able to pick the quad box that you want to have.
They do let you pick it.
What's that?
They do let you pick the quad box.
You know that, but you don't get the options of all the game. Like you don't get the exact quad box that you want. It's in the orders that they want it in. Like but Mikey, it's a big thing. There's a couple games.
The bigger concern is that when the afternoon games come on, they don't update the quads on the options. It takes them very long to update.
Yeah, they're back.
I mean, they're working out. Listen, guys, this is the first season of it. They're working out the kinks. It's like when Disney World first opened.
And by the way, we love YouTube. We love YouTube.
We love YouTube.
We do love YouTube.
Your friends
love
over YouTube. We love Mr. Beast, and we love YouTube. I'm going to double down on sell Rodney Harrison, that take on Zach Wilson that he had, and the spot that he put Chris Jones in.
Chris Jones handled it magnificent.
Really did.
I didn't see it. What did he say?
I always liked Rodney Harrison. He tried to get Chris Jones to talk about how bad Zach Wilson is and called him garbage on the Broncos. And I get these guys got to be hard on some of the guys. What he did was a low blow move.
Yeah. I thought you hate Zach Wilson.
Which is I don't think he's good. He showed some signs like that.
So would you say he's garbage?
Sure, of course. Yeah, he's garbage.
Yeah, but Bob is not nationally televised announcing football. But Rodney Harrison in a post-game interview, national TV, brings Chris Jones on as the interview and was like, listen, be honest with me. He goes, you watch this guy's tape. You were probably expecting him. You were probably saying this guy's trash. He's terrible. And Chris Jones was not having it. He was like, no.
What did he say?
Like, listen. He was like, no, listen. He's like, Zach, it's early on for him. Give him some time. He's like, he played really well tonight. And Rodney Harrison was just a total unprofessional mutant about the whole thing. He really was. It was bad. It was a look for Rodney Harrison, who I believe has just since apologized.
Maybe Zach Wilson's talking to his mom.
He really,
he apologized to that.
He really had no choice but to, with how many people were against him for. And you're right, Mike.
He was getting ripped.
Jones handled it with clap, but he just put him in. It was such a low move, and I've always liked Rodney Harrison, but what a low move that was. Way too much. Mikey V, by yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead this week, and my original thing was the Swiftie thing because I do think the NFL's getting out of control with they're making it. They're putting. Chiefs are 2-0 since Swifties, whatever, on their flag head or masthead on the social media accounts. Just crazy shit. This week I'm going to buy this week, and I'm going to buy something that's made its way into my bathroom. It's a new product, and I'm not looking for a sponsorship here, but I'm going to call it. Exactly
Dude Wipes.
I see it. No, well, Dude Wipes is the greatest, and we know Dude Wipes is the greatest.
Dude Wipes could be.
If you need to wipe and you're a dude, you go ahead and buy yourself some Dude Wipes. But I've been using the Philips Sonicare toothbrush for probably the last, I would say 20 plus years, and never used the Oral-B. Just would never convert over to the Oral-B. I said, I don't need the Oral-B. The Philips Sonicare is the way to go. And I got to tell you, I've been experiencing some, now I wouldn't say difficulties, but just my teeth aren't where I want them to be right now. My gums aren't where I want them to be right now. I switched over to the Oral-B. Holly finally bought me an Oral-B toothbrush. She's like, look, I just want you to try this. The Oral-B blows the doors off the Philips Sonicare toothbrush. Your teeth feel better. It feels more refreshed. That circular motion. There's no hardship on the gums. And the most underrated aspect is perhaps they've mastered the distribution of the toothpaste perfectly. You get your toothpaste distribution perfect every time because it's that pea-sized circle, and you can't, there is no liberty you take where you fill out the whole flat. Like when the toothbrush head is long, you don't know what you're doing. You try and cover the whole thing. That's not the correct amount of toothpaste, not the ADA recommended amount of toothpaste. It's the circular pea size, and I think that's an underrated aspect of the Oral-B. One of the most underrated aspects is the perfect size of distribution for the toothpaste. The toothbrush is phenomenal. I'm going to recommend it to anybody. I switched the Oral-B and I'm all about it.
I'm in the market.
Okay.
So maybe.
What do you use? But Bob, you don't use an electric brush.
No, I'm in the market. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I could be in the market very much so.
It's so much better, man. It feels like you go to the dentist. It's unbelievable.
With the electronic toothbrush, do you treat it like a normal toothbrush?
You hold it. You know what it's like is you ever go into a hotel and they have those machines, or like the casino where those machines that wax the floors, and
they're like the little floor Zambonis almost.
Yeah, you just hold it over your teeth.
Yeah,
and you just go like this.
That's another great thing. So if you put too much pressure when you're using the Oral-B,
it's not good. It's not good.
A ring lights up red around the toothbrush head, so you know you're using too much pressure. This Oral-B,
are you serious?
I'm dead serious. They got it covered every angle. Every angle they've attacked, every single one, and I respect.
So you're a changed man.
Yeah, I really like it. And I told Holly, and she gave me the, if you're married and your wife has told you to do something for X amount of years and you just ignored it and didn't do it, if you're actually going to admit that you made a mistake, you better just be ready to take that and own that.
Can I ask you something? Obviously, Holly's always right. And
That's right.
The way that it goes. And I think Holly's IQ is right there, if not probably better than your IQ. And you have a very, I've always talked, I'm not making fun of you. I've always talked about it. You have a very high IQ.
Mm-hmm.
I think of an argument going down to, and like that is a clash of the titans in the sense of you have two very logical people coming to the table. Out of your last 100 arguments, how many, although of course you've lost every one of them, how many would you that like honestly, out of your last 100, how many would you honestly say that you walked out of there and been like, that was mine, like I was
Bob is just coming for the jugular here.
Out of the last 100, how many would I say that I walked away from saying, you know, I think I was right, this is not right, that I think I was
very few
in the right here?
Or like won the argument. Like I had
won the argument? It's got to be in the teens, maybe in the teens out of 100, maybe teens. It's got to be in the teens.
And then deep down though, knowing that you were right out of the last.
Oh, that's that's like I would say, belief wise, because I have a lot of belief in myself. I would say that's hovering around 70%. I believe.
Okay.
But actually, one is in the teens.
That's a number that will start a fight. Like if he said 90, it would have been okay. 70 is a legitimate. He took that question seriously.
You know what they say?
I mean, this is a full transparency show. I'm not.
You know what they say, Bob? You know what they say? Perception is reality.
Yeah, this guy's got problems, man.
Yeah, he does. He does.
You know, I was watching. We did the Guinness challenge for Bob Just Sports, and like,
oh my God, bro, that picture of him with the hat is like the greatest. It is the greatest picture ever.
People were sending comparisons to me of me and Shea Guerrero, me and Jack Nicholson.
The Jack Nicholson from Anger Management is the best. So good.
This one where he's like this, where he's nodding. Yes.
You know, we're all crazy in our own right. If you just watch Joe in this episode, he's crazy. Like he's.
I'm also drunk.
Yeah, but it really comes out, and that's what makes the show go so great. What a wild human being, you know. Like even when you laugh, it's wild.
You know, lately, Bear Down, there's times where Bob will be like watching football or out, and he just like watches me and just starts cracking up. Yeah, and I won't even have done anything. Like I'm just sitting there, and he just starts cracking him up. And I'll look, I'm like,
but Bob does that, I feel like, with really, like, I've seen him do that with Perez. I've seen him do that with me. I've seen him do it with Jerry. I've seen him do it with Bob. Or with Joe. I mean, but Bob, I just think that's your humor, is observational humor. I just think you get like a big kick out of just watching people in their habitat. It's kind of like Bob is like the world is Bob's zoo, and he's just a visitor, and he comes in and everyone's on display and everyone's an exhibit for him. He just comes in and he just, observes, and he just gets such a big kick out.
Yeah, you'll feed the chimpanzees.
Yes.
And you'll walk over to the tiger pit and watch Bear Down.
Yeah.
And then he goes over and he watches.
Now we're going over the Cutsy exhibit. Now we're going to the
freaking,
Now I need a little.
We're all behind glass.
Yeah. Yep.
Just acting like wild animals.
That's correct.
Remember, there was one time where you guys were going at it on an episode. My dad always mentions that you guys were going at it on the episode, and I was like, man, this is a great episode. And then Mikey freaks out. He's like, yeah, it's a great episode because Bob's prize lions are out, and they're going.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Fellas, some possible news here on the way, by the way. Some possible news in the works. We all spoke about it this morning, and I think there will be more talks about it tonight. It looks like a very, very high possibility of a live Brilliantly Dumb show coming to you in November. And Mikey tossed around.
In New York!
Clap it up. Not official yet, but clap it up.
In New York City.
Mikey V tossed around the possibility of doing that Luna's, which I think was great, or maybe like an after party or whatever. But then we're also really thinking of doing like an actual, maybe somehow, some way we could sell out like a venue. Like maybe we could do
live from the Jimmy Fallon show. You have the Brilliantly Dumb show.
But
No?
I think we could, possibly, I think we could sell out. Keep it on. Keep it on. I think we could sell, do 500 to 1,000 seats.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, we
How
could do
great
that.
it would be
We could do that.
leaving that show with you guys when all the work is done and going to dinner after.
Wow. Bob's always got that dinner on his mind. Always has the dinner. And you know what? I do love that. I really do. I really do. One of the best features of Bob.
Frankie and Johnny's. Imagine if we did Frankie and Johnny's after the show.
Special.
Rock Solid Oysters. But it's not about us. It's about the fans who get to come. And how does that sound to you, Joey D?
I think a big Q&A would be fun. No?
No, I think that'd be good. I was waiting for Mikey to say something.
Why were you waiting for me? Why? Why were you waiting for me?
The whole idea of having...
You asked Joe about his opinion about the show. Joe's answer was he wants to do a Q&A.
Well, I thought it was...
No, I said the whole reason to have fans in the audience is to get them engaged. If you do a good Q&A, you don't think that would be a banger?
I think the show would be great. I think we could do a little interactive. We could pick out maybe 3 possible top 5s to do live, and then we, say, all right, if you want to hear this top 5, give me a round of applause.
Yeah.
You want to hear this top 5? Give me a round of applause. You want this top 5? Give me and then we go based off the loudest round of applause, something along those lines. We'll get the people involved.
I could see before the show, Mikey walks up to like one quadrant of like the audience and goes like this and sees how loud they are, then goes to the middle, then goes to the side, then back to the middle, then the side, then the other side. Just get them all going.
What a good MC does.
I love that. Yep.
Yeah, but really, I think that's something that we definitely can entertain. That I think has been awesome, and we've been talking about doing it for a long time. The problem is with those live shows, you do have to keep the crowd engaged. So many people do live shows of like live podcasts now, and the crowd that comes, they don't necessarily react great to just a podcast. Like if we were just doing this now, just talking to ourselves, you can lose them. That they'll start to talk. Remember we did the Corona one, Joe, and it was good, but you got to keep the crowd.
Well, you got to have like a
That's why I think
show.
The Q&A is a good idea, Joe. You got to let them interact.
Or you every so often you do like we start talking about a subject, and then we could pan out and have like a big screen in the back and do a slideshow.
We could make that like
Mikey be freaked out during the show,
we could make that your feature, the Q&A, and we could call it Q&EH, like Canadian A. Q&A. Joey D's Q&A. I think that would be a good feature.
That's pretty quick. That's pretty good.
I do too. I think it would be really good. So keep an eye out on that. Again, nothing confirmed of now. But Joey D's got his hand up, so let's go to Joey D.
Could you imagine if we found a way where they could like buzz in? So like the top 5, they could like rank it as we were doing the show.
Yeah, there's apps, by the way, that you could do that very easily.
Oh, that would be amazing. Easily. We could see a live response to the top 5.
There's a website that hosts like live voting, because I've been to like conferences and meetings where like they just go to a website
like
and they're like,
QR
go to this hyperlink. Yes, go to this hyperlink and you could live vote. It's pretty cool.
And then
that'd be amazing.
So it gives us that, and then it gives us a day Sunday in the cave.
Wow.
Yeah. I think we're due for a trip. We always get that feeling when it's time to go visit Mikey. I think we're due.
Although, like if the Bears are playing that day, I mean,
no, Bears won't be at the forefront. It's over for them, guys. It's over.
I will say, just to touch on it real quick, Mikey. Don't you think you put it up there? The idea of now getting Caleb Williams and
Marvin Harrison.
Attractive.
That would be unbelievable.
I mean, listen, it's did I expect 4 games into the season that we'd have the number 1 and 2 overall pick projected right now? No, I didn't. Am I totally upset about it? No, I'm not. Do I think the organization could screw it up because they could screw up a cup of coffee? I do. I still think that if any organization is capable of ruining Caleb Williams, there's 2, the Browns and the Bears. Those are 2 organizations I could. Bob, man, you had it. It's just a freak thing that happened.
By the way, Bob, do you know that Aaron Rodgers is trying to come back this season?
Yeah, he's a psycho.
He thinks he could play after week 7.
Yeah, well, he went to one of those voodoo doctors and they did some kind of experimental Achilles. They replaced his Achilles with a goat Achilles, and now he's ready to play in December.
If Rodgers plays after week 7, he is a testament of a man, unlike any we've seen before.
He's not playing after week 7, you're saying?
After week 7.
But why?
Bob, he's walking almost already.
Did you see what he did yesterday? He's always got to be in the linebacker. Did you see where he was on the crutches and he asked the guy to throw him the ball so that he could throw the ball real quick?
He looks good.
Yo.
I mean, listen, I want him. I want him. I want him back. I wanted to watch that team so bad with him, bro. I really did. People are going to say
They're a
I'm
good
full of shit.
team.
I'm not. They are a good team. And Zach Wilson played well last night.
They went toe to toe with the Chiefs last night.
He played better than Mahomes.
Call
spade a spade. He outplayed Mahomes for the most part. I mean, Mahomes made a couple clutch running plays. He did. There was a bullshit penalty. There was, but Wilson stood toe to toe. Good for him.
It looked like he was going to kill that ref last night.
The saddest.
I mean, Salah should have killed that ref. That was horrible. Horrible.
Done a lot of sick, crazy things. One of the craziest.
Maybe that ref was a Swiftie.
Was my after Rodgers got hurt and then watching the Hard Knocks after week 1 and rewatching Hard Knocks was one of the craziest things I've ever done. I regret it.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah,
it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, look, I hope he comes back. I really do. All right, fellas. Today, top 5. I had the top 5 for this, so I'll announce what we're going to be doing today. Today, we are going to be doing the top 5 all-time NFL personalities. Now, I do want to clarify, fellas, this is our top 5 personalities, right? Like the top 5 that we liked the most, right?
Correct.
Okay, we're all in agreement.
Is that after they retired?
I mean, it could be now. Yeah, you could have something in now.
I have a little bit of a mix.
Okay,
I have mostly retired ones.
Yeah, so do I. In fact, I don't have a single current one.
Okay, good. I don't have a single current one playing.
I don't either. I don't either.
Good.
I could start us off.
Oh, I have one. I have one current one.
Go ahead, Bob.
Number 5, I got Warren Sapp. We got Warren Sapp at number 5. I thought he was a fucking character. Give me Warren Sapp at number 5. Number 4, give me Ocho Cinco.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I got Ocho Cinco 4. Obviously,
he's a wild boy.
Yeah, and you know what? He wasn't the reason I don't have T.O. in there because to me, T.O.
he's a piece of shit.
Not to say that. Oh, whoa. What'd you say, Joey D?
I said keep going with your top 5.
Okay. I got Ocho Cinco at 4. To me, T.O. was just too much to where I didn't enjoy it.
I think that's the whole point of the top 5, though.
No,
I didn't enjoy it though. That sounds like somebody who's got T.O. in his top.
Oh, I got T.O. I got T.O. high up there.
Ocho Cinco was a lot, but he never really.
Ocho Cinco wasn't as good either. T.O. backed it up. T.O. was he was a stud. He was a stud.
I thought T.O.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, so I got him at 4. Number 3, I actually got Vince Wilfork.
I like that. I like Vince. I'm a big Vince guy.
Crack me up. I mean, he was a character. He even did some really funny commercials. Vince Wilfork at 3. Number 2, I got Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, not to put him in the top 5 there. And then number 1, I mean, this guy had a run of all runs in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was the guy. The whole Skittles thing. Marshawn Lynch to me was one of the funniest. Even the press that he had leading up to the Super Bowl, here so I don't get fined. Just incredible. I got Marshawn Lynch at 1. Now let's head over to Joey D.
I don't know how I'm going to do this in what order.
Well, 5 to 1.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Well, what does that mean? I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I'm saying I've been going around.
This you just listed people you didn't have them in order already.
I don't know how to put them in order. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. At number 5, give me Terrell Owens.
Yeah, I have T.O.
I think he should be in that list, whether you like him or you don't. The guy was definitely larger than life, doing sit-ups, doing an interview. I mean, it's outrageous. Yeah, but he should be there. Terrell Owens at number 5. Number 4. This might not sit with everybody, but rest in peace. He's a legend. Tony Siragusa. I thought he is an absolute. Not only was he funny on the field, but as a broadcast, he was so funny. He brought a great perspective. It was like the lighter side. You could relate to him. I thought he was great. I got Tony Siragusa at 4.
Who would have an issue with that? I think that's great.
No, you really? I don't know. Some people.
That's a good pick.
I like it.
People don't like that. They don't know football. It's a good pick.
And number 3, I got Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning, whether you like him or not, he's got this dry humor that is just irresistible. I think he's hilarious personally. You know who loves Peyton Manning is the Ticket. Ticket loves Peyton Manning. But I find him very funny. What he did at the ESPYs a couple years ago when he took a jab at, who was it he took a jab at in the middle of the awards show, and they were not happy with him. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah,
I remember.
He went off on somebody, and they were not happy.
And Peyton even said, "Ooh, he didn't like that very much."
Yes. It was his.
That was. I forget who it was. Shame on take the joke. It's Kevin Durant.
It was KD. That's who it was.
Durant.
By the way,
how do you not laugh at yourself? You know what I mean?
He's so funny, dude. Peyton Manning at number 3. Good call on Kevin Durant. By the way, another piece of shit. Number 2, we got Marshawn Lynch, the skills king. This guy is great. He was not just a great football player, but he just brought entertainment at each and every game. Hilarious. Whether you like him or not, I think he belongs at the top of the list. And number 1, again, if you don't like him, I got Rob Gronkowski at number 1. I think Gronk is just such a funny dude, so good at what he does, a Hall of Famer through and through, and he could kind of just embody any role he needed to. If he had to go on a TV show, if he had to do an interview after, he was always just hilarious. I think he deserves to be number 1. And yeah, I mean, I think it's arguable, but I think he should be top 3 in almost everyone's list.
That's my honorable mention.
Okay. Number 5, I have the big tuna, Bill Parcells. I think Parcells was one of the funniest, most in-your-face, tell it like it is, no nonsense, no bullshit. I mean, listen, that's the type of guy, I'm used to from growing up where I grew up. I mean, that was who he was. I mean, he was great. He was great. Number 4, lack of personality equals a gigantic personality for this one. Give me Bill Belichick at 4. Belichick's lack of giving anything makes him one of the most polarizing personalities ever in the history of the NFL. The lack of it, we're on to Cincinnati. And the smacking of the lips after every answer. The hoodie. Everything about Belichick is just, it's so good. 3, I got prime time. I got Deion Sanders at 3. I think it's a no-brainer. He has to make the list. He is a polarizing personality as well. Number 2, give me one of my former greats. Give me Mike Ditka at number 2. I think Ditka created this whole romanticizing of the Chicago Bears in the 80s. He polarized that whole team, that whole franchise, the slick back hair, the aviator glasses, the cigar. He kind of was the first, real swagged out coach that I could think of that really reset kind of what you thought of an NFL coach. And then number 1, I do have T.O. at number 1. I do have T.O. The Sharpie, the pom-poms, the planting the football on the star in
popcorn?
Dallas. The pop. Did I say the popcorn?
No, you said the pom-poms, the Sharpie,
and the pom-poms. Yeah. The popcorn dump, the planting the ball on the Dallas Star at the 50-yard line, all the shit that he was doing when he was in Philly. I just think that T.O., the sit-ups in the driveway while he was training with all the reporters in his driveway.
That's my quarterback.
He was, but here's the thing about T.O. He backed it up on the field every time he went out. That Super Bowl that they lost to New England with Philly, when he was playing on one leg, basically, and the way he played in that Super Bowl, T.O. definitely loved the game, but T.O. was just an absolute psychopath. He's a psychopath, but I think to me, he's the biggest personality I could remember in the NFL. That's my list.
Jody, any issues there?
No.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see who. I don't think there was any terrible lists. I really don't. I mean,
so Bob, you got Gronk honorable?
Gronk would be my honorable mention, correct?
Joe,
my honorable would be Deion Sanders.
Okay, reluctantly.
Yeah, you don't love that. You don't love that.
No, he doesn't.
I don't like the whole Colorado thing right now. Here's the thing. I respect Deion, but I'm not a big fan of him. I think he's good for football. There's no doubt about it. I just think it's all about him still. It's all about he's selling sunglasses. He's making money. He's not contributing to the money. Like everything he's making, he's just taking, I don't know if he's really there for the kids. I think he's there for his kids. I don't think he's there for the other kids.
I'll take Lawrence Taylor. My honorable.
Whoa.
LT is my honorable. You talk about a personality, bro. You talk about a guy who's just a total
little bit of trouble
psychopath.
with the law there.
Hey, listen, it was a different time for LT, man. The 80s. 80s
Oh,
were
I
crazy.
did not see that.
Yeah, LT, bro. LT, man.
My goodness.
I mean, Lawrence Taylor. You tell me, Joe, you wouldn't hang out with Lawrence Taylor back in the day if he sent you the invite?
I'd be scared if I said the wrong thing that he'd come after my neck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a personality, that's for sure. Gotta love LT. Gotta love LT.
Fellas, damn good episode. A big congratulations to Joey D. Keep an eye out for that wedding, man. My God. I think something in the title, we got to do Joey D wedding, something like that. Anything Joey D sells. Nowadays,
Joey D's getting hitched.
in there, it's going to sell.
Yep.
So there you have it. Congrats to Joey D. We love you, boys. I love you, boys. I appreciate you, boys. The Bill and Dumb Show is brought to you by Cracker Barrel. Anytime breakfast, any way you want it. Cracker Barrel for a great value. We'll see you next time. The Bill and Dumb Show.